News.mc on Monaco Info is brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties. Our exclusive interview with the personalities making the Principality.
I'm Chloé Boscagli. Thank you very much for having me. I was born in the Principality until the lycée. I was in Monaco and then I left, of course. I went to Paris. I was in classe prépa. Then I integrated HEC Paris. I wanted to have some specialization in law, so I went to La Sorbonne in parallel, and at the end of this, I was hired in one of the very well-known cabinets, that is Bureau Francis Lefebvre. So this is where I started my career a few years ago. Then I came back to the Principality after 3 years and a half because I was so happy that the Société des Bains de Mer hired me, and it was my dream job. I could come back to my homeland, which was very important for me. I was hired in the cabinet of the president, the chairman and CEO of Monte Carlo Société des Bains de Mer. I was very happy because it was such an interesting company, amazing people and fantastic clients, of course. And it was a listed company. The CEO and chairman has decided to diversify its activities, so it was really a key moment. And a lot of things happened during the 8 years I spent with Monte Carlo Société des Bains de Mer. I was lucky enough to go to the government of the Principality. So I have both a private and public background. And for the last 2 years, I have been at the Cellule Attractivité, which is as new as me in the government. We're 2 years old, the two of us. And Cellule Attractivité, which is translated in attractivity or attractiveness unit, is mainly dedicated to welcoming individuals to Monaco. I have two main pillars: sharing my knowledge with key people and having this international background that is so important when you live in the Principality, as I'm really convinced you have to go elsewhere and learn a lot and come back and share that. That attractiveness is a key topic for the Principality. This is why I'm really happy to be able to work in this field, because it's strategic and it's also something we have to build on because it's so competitive. So this is why I'm really trying my best to try to make things move forward for the country. It's a very recent unit. We have 3 main activities in the attractiveness unit. First, we have the Conseil stratégique pour l'attractivité, which is the think tank of the Principality, establishing with 50 experts from Monaco what should be done in 10 years, 15 years and 20 years. So this is CSA. We have the Welcome Office, answering to every question of everybody that desires to relocate to the Principality. And the third activity is this Monaco private label. So Monaco private label was designed 15 years ago, and it was the head of the tourism unit who realized that there were so many people, incredible people, coming back and forth. He decided that from a strategic point of view, it would be key that the government could have a link with them. Since they were coming back, they might be interested in the Principality in one way or another, being a tourist, simply, let's say, or a friend of the Principality. And so this is why he created the Monaco private label. That is a very key system because every country has an attractiveness policy, but creating a really VIP entity is strategic in the way that we are keeping contact, we are selecting the members of the Monaco private label, welcoming them. There is nothing compulsory. It's really only if we share the same state of mind. We are trying to make people meet. It's really simply the fact that international members meet with resident members and realize that there are so many things in common that they consider the possibility of relocating. And so it works out very well, to be honest, because of course we have incredible international residents in Monaco. They really share the same mindset. They are philanthropists, entrepreneurs, people that have succeeded but that are always trying to make their best and to keep on their activity. So they're very active people. This is the challenge of the Monaco private label, I think. It's really adapting to its member and adapting to the world. So we have, for the last 2 years, for instance, our members are younger and younger. of course, because now we have, for the 60 last people that relocated through the Monaco private label, the average age was 50, so it's much younger than before. So they are more active people. They want to work, they want to keep on working. So this is very important because as a state, we share information with these future residents or new residents to see what they want, what they're looking for, what we could do, how we can adjust and adapt. Because as you know, in the Principality we are less than 10,000 nationals, but each day, in average, we have 100,000 people coming to the territory. So attractiveness is, of course, a very common word, but it means a lot. So we have to take care really of sharing what's happening in Monaco. So we have like this promoting issue, but also making sure to listen to what these residents and future residents need. We have a system that lies really on recommendation. So either you are recommended by a member. We have a very active diplomatic and consular body in the Principality, and they have a very impressive network. So they highlight a few individuals. First of all, you have to feel like you have an inkling for Monaco, or it makes no sense at all. And you have to share the same value. We are always trying to support association. Of course, you have to have the same mindset, which is a mindset of entrepreneurship. So we are really creating a community. So 2,000 members from over 60 countries, and we are very happy because we are trying to bring them to the Principality from time to time, of course, to see them, to learn more. We have an event next week that is the annual summit, and it's a very important moment because it's our whole community, available members of course, are coming to Monaco, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to see them and for them to network. There are lots of stereotypes concerning Monaco. We have, of course, to fight against them. Luckily enough, once you relocate, people love the country and the way of life. So it's a good thing because putting a resident member and an international member together, and the resident member becomes our best ally. What we want to promote above all is the fact that Monaco is like the best of two worlds. It's like you can have the intensity of a hub, but an incredible quality of life. And sometimes people know about that, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they think that it's still a country for retired people, which is not at all the case anymore, I would say. This is our key topic. What they know for sure, our two best pillars are really security and stability. We don't need to add much on those topics. As we know, we are lucky enough to have our sovereign family, the Grimaldis, that have been there for 700 years, and this has no comparison in the world. This is very important for their personal life because sometimes they come from countries where they've been traumatized, and it's also very important for their business and their activities, because when you change legislation every now and then, you have to reconsider the whole organization. So it's key. And also safety, because it's becoming so rare to be in a place where you have that many policemen. We have 15 policemen per 1,000 inhabitants. And so all this importance of security is a key topic for us. So we are in one of the safest places in the world. We have one of the highest GDP in the world. We have like one of the good growth in economy in the world. We also have one of the best healthcare system with almost 8 doctors per 1,000 inhabitants. Also 3 different categories of scholarship. So it's true that we're very small, but it matters a lot for the people relocating because being younger, they need to find schools. So we have the ISM, the international school. We also have the British school, and we have the French system, but which with international sections inside. So it's true that it's quite a large possibilities. We're very good at sports. We have sports equipment, and we have such an intense social life and sportive and events life. This is something people really don't know about Monaco. We have not less than 11 entities working on attractiveness for Monaco, but it's quite normal as it's such a key topic for the Principality. We are working very well all together, to be honest. We have different fields. We are trying to promote the Principality always all together, and then being like, I am the point of entry for individuals. Should they have a corporate issue, I'm going to address them to the right contact. So we're all working out very well this way. So as you mentioned, we're traveling a lot, and for the last 2 years we have been to 11 countries. And so the important thing is that we're trying, doing this kind of travel, to bring different representatives of the different entities. I'm always traveling with one person from the Banking Association, Monaco Economic Board, Monte Carlo Société des Bains de Mer, and the 4 of us are trying their best to explain what we do. And this way I'm sure that they're going to be convinced that we're a true ecosystem, that we're working together, that it works out. We have a very selective and administrative process to relocate, so I have to be fair with them. So I share information, I share the right contacts in the administration, but what I don't do is I don't do the expert's job, because everybody has to eat at the end of the day. But should they have any question, my team is there to answer the question. They have various of questions. You know, relocating in a country is so personal. You can be very stressed. You can wonder where to go, what kind of sport your children are going to do, and are you going to be able to create your own activity in the Principality. What we are trying is to bring over information in a very sensitive way, trying to understand, for them to have the right contact and to have the answer to their questions. To be honest, I'm very thankful to the Principality. My family arrived in Monaco in the 60s. We've been there for a while, we've been living very happily. I'm trying to make my most, to support Monaco's progression, and it's true that I'm very dedicated to the country. I always try to make my best for the country. What we need to do, and what we've been able to do, is to adjust and adapt. We were one of the first countries in the world to create this attractiveness. We created the first resort, being Monte Carlo Société des Bains de Mer. We have this history for us, and we have top assets, as we've discussed. So we have to keep on trying to improve our capacity to attract these selected people. And I think it's really important also that we mention very clearly what we are doing and what kind of assets there are in Monaco. This is why we need to keep on having also this CSA that is key to define our strategy, and to make sure that in this competitive world, being that small, we always belong to the best destinations. I'm very confident for the future. We have a lot of hard workers in the Principality, and I'm sure that being inspired from abroad and making the most of the Principality, if we work all in the same way to make it happen and to keep up adjusting and adapting, I'm sure we're going to move forward.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching News.mc, your English rendezvous on Monaco Info. Discover more interviews and stories on our websites, news.mc and monacoinfo.com. This show was brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties.